Here you come.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you keep your eyes to the left side of the Apollo stage, courtesy of Bruce Dickinson. Celebrate 100 years ago when the aeroplane first went to war. In August 1914, as the First World War began, 60 aircraft of the Royal Flying Corps flew from near Dover to France to act as the eyes of the army above what became the Western Front. These aircraft from the Great War display team represent those early types from the Great War. Leading the formation, 3 SE-5A fast and nimble fighter aircraft, one of the best British designs of the Great War. The oldest aircraft, a 1914 BE-2C observation biplane, the very first type to cross to France a century ago. Next month, that aircraft will recreate the flight, recrossing the Channel 100 years later. But the aeroplane you want to see is not the first triplane, that's a Sopwith triplane, or the Junkers trench strafing aircraft. It's the aircraft at the back, flown by Bruce. And what you're set to see now is what, if you've been sat in the trenches back in the early years of the Great War, a classic World War I dogfight. As the reconnaissance aircraft, the largest of the aircraft, the second one flying around now in the display, tries to do its reconnaissance work, and the enemy forces try to prevent it getting back with the information.
Take them out, boys.
Here we go.
Different types and different designs of aircraft as aircraft evolution was in its infancy. You've got the monoplane aircraft, the German Junkers, used for strafing the trenches. You've got the biplane fighters, and you've got the 2 triplane types designed to have the best turning ability and the best rate of climb. And heading towards us now, starting to turn onto the tail of one of the SE-5 fighters, is Bruce in the Fokker triplane.
In the Fokker. In the Fokker. Take him.
Take him out, man.
Fuck him up.
The BE-2 being chased by the Junkers there was designed for observation. It was designed to be stable. It was not, however, manoeuvrable. And the fighter aircraft were invented to create the agility to take part in the classic dogfight.
Brucey's got sports.
Homing in on the tail of the BE-2, which now leaves smoke as one of the Junkers has it firmly in its sights. Meanwhile, higher up in the sky, Bruce in the Fokker triplane is trying to get onto the tail of one of the SE-5s, and he's having to turn now because another SE-5 was threatening to get on his tail.
Bastard.
Now you've got the classic turning dogfight.
I'll get smoked. Here we go.
Alright.
Head to head, here we go.
Bruce is staying high. Remember the hun in the sun?
No.
Triplane, the highest of the aircraft at the moment, as he looks out for a target and starts to dive in for the attack. The Fokker triplane, famed of course for the mount of Baron von Richthofen. Now Bruce is diving in. Has he got one of the SE-5s in his sights? More to the point, one of the SE-5s, in fact the Sopwith triplane, now has the Fokker in its sights. Bruce is going to have to go on the defensive.
What a fucker.
Meanwhile, Bruce has now got the BE-2 observation aircraft, the Sopwith triplane, and one of the SE-5s, all as potential targets. He's closing in on the tail of the Sopwith.
Go on, get him.
Go for it.
And you'll hear the sound of those very powerful engines in both the Sopwith and the Fokker triplanes that give them their speed and their agility. And Bruce is in absolutely the perfect target position.
Go, Bruce!
Put it down, Bruce!
Fuck him up.
Bit more smoke from one of the Junkers trench strafers. In fact, both the two Junkers aircraft leaving smoke. They're in trouble, both with an SE-5A fighter on their tails. But the Junkers has a rear gunner. And in fact, one of them, if anyone's got a good pair of binoculars, is Eddie.
Oh, yeah. Hey!
Jump into the sky!
And again, we've got the two triplanes battling in the classic dogfight scenario. Bruce turning hard to try get on the Sopwith's tail.
Never wonder why!
They could do with the beer, I'm sure.
The Fokker triplane was actually a copy of the layout of the British Sopwith design that was made in a more advanced manner and actually was one of the top German aircraft of the Great War. Meanwhile, the SE-5, one of them goes down low, leaving smoke. Bruce again circling on the tail of the Sopwith triplane. Bruce has got a hit.
Go, Brucey.
Brucey bonus, eh?
So a true sight and sound of the battles in the air above the trenches of the Western Front during the Great War. And again, Bruce turning hard, trying to get his gun sights onto the tail of the Sopwith. Now has a Junkers covering his tail, and the SE-5 is trying to maneuver to avoid Eddie in the gunner's seat.
Hey!
These aircraft from the Great War display team, all replica airframes, all flown by pilots from different roles in life, everything from ex-jet fighter pilots to airline captains, all with a passion for First World War aviation, as indeed has Bruce.
Rock stars, yeah.
And once again now, the aircraft running in with Bruce on the tail of the Sopwith, the BE trying to keep pace, but that's so a less agile observation biplane.
Gun him down.
And a true sky full of aeroplanes, the average age of which is coming close to 100 years old. Team are making their final fly past.